Hey, Crispy Crew, welcome back to Crispy Cocktails, where we bring you the best drinks, the best conversations, and get crispy with leaders, coaches, mentors, entrepreneurs, and all around badasses making waves. If you're loving what we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a sip of the action. And while you're at it, check out our website at crispycocktails.com for everything you need. Explore our flavors, find a retailer near you, browse our gallery, and get answers to your top questions. Before we jump in, don't forget to follow, share, and tag us while you sip. Now, let's meet today's guests. Cheers and get crispy. Hey, so I am here today with Nicholas Downey, owner of Full Service Res with Compass, who also works with Tops Props Co. And you're in the real estate industry. Thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your story.
Story is, we've been in real estate for over 21 years in the Denver market area, focused on helping homeowners buy and sell properties, investors buy and sell properties. I've got a background in foreclosures, REO. Right now, we just are working with sellers to help them maximize their equity in their home by doing renovations and bringing the vendors together with homeowners so that we can make sure that the properties are in the one of the top 1% of the homes that are available, because we know that that's what it takes to sell homes in this market.
Yeah, and I know that this market is super difficult right now with interest rates being so high.
Yeah.
And, navigating the water. So you found a different way to kind of carve out a niche to get some prospects. And tell me a little bit about how, Full Service Res and Top Props works with your clients to get customers and to build out the properties. Because I think that model is actually really, really genius and intriguing.
Yeah. So what we ended up finding was there's a lot of homes in the Denver market that are either older homes that are not what buyers are looking for, and sellers don't know what they need to do to position themselves to be a top property, or they don't have the resources, either the vendors, the contacts, or the money to be able to invest in their home so that they can sell in the shortest amount of time at the highest amount of value and be able to retain all that money so that they can afford to go into that next adventure, that next home, whether it's moving out of state, whether it's moving to a higher end home or downsizing, pulling that equity and putting it into the market or things like that. So we really wanted to find an avenue to be able to leverage working with sellers, bringing in our networking vendor partners, and be able to put the two of them together and really help our sellers so that we're differentiating ourselves from just the real estate agent that's out there that's just trying to do the deal.
So what's your sales process when you find a new client or a potential homeowner that wants to sell? How do you go in and pitch them with the added benefits that you add?
Well, so a lot of times we'll go in and we'll find sellers who want to sell, but a lot of sellers, usually the main question that's asked to me is, hey, come in, do a walkthrough of the house and tell me what I need to do to be able to sell it. And a traditional way of maybe doing that is coming in and saying, well, we need to stage this room, or we need to do this or that to be able to sell your home. What we've tried to do is really bring an advantage from our networking partners to be able to go to the sellers and say, if you take this 1994 kitchen and your 1994 master suite and make them a 2030 home, then your competition is now a new build versus the same property that the homeowner is going to see or the home buyer is going to see in the neighborhood.
Okay, so you guys will come in and basically remodel the house, and you use your partners, your corporate partners to fund those?
Yeah, so what we do is we will identify sellers who are in those geographical areas. We will go and we'll have a consultation with them. We'll sit down and we'll say, okay, you can sell your home on the open market, and these are the numbers. Or here's some things that we know because we've got experience, that if we put white shaker cabinets in and white marble countertops or Korean countertops and we put in a floating bathtub in your master and a full enclosed shower, then your home is going to sell for $300 a square foot versus $270 a square foot.
So you're maximizing the value
And then
trying to get the most equity.
And then we're showing them and saying, hey, listen, these are your options. You can sell it the way that it is. You can allow us to bring our team in and help you maximize the home so that you can maximize your profit. And then we actually give the homeowners all of the equity from the additional renovations and what we find is you get more buyer demand, the home sells faster, the home sells at a higher market, and you don't have the stagnation, which leads to price reductions, longer days on market, and things of that nature that just create frustration for the seller.
Yeah, definitely. I know that when we moved into our new house, which it was 7-8 years ago now. I'm like, I wanted something that was built out, that was nice, that didn't need a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
And when I sold our old home, I ended up with my dad doing a bunch of upkeep and maintenance that needed to get done.
Yeah.
Just to make it look nicer so you can get top dollar. And
Yeah.
it should have gotten done earlier in the stage. So I wish I could have met somebody like you that could have came in and it's like, hey, we'll put all this money in, because I didn't have all the money to put it into the remodel and build it all out to where it needed to be.
Yeah.
But that's kind of when the market was hot. So I totally understand the need for it and the value that you can get.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that your sellers love seeing those types of things. And then you guys get paid once the house sells, and you get all your partners get their money back for basically all the construction that gets done.
Yeah, so a couple different ways that we can do it, right? So if we have vendors come in, say the property needs new windows, right? We can have one of our vendor partners come in and just do windows if that's all the home needs.
Yeah.
And because they're a vendor partner of ours, you get premier pricing with that vendor so that you're not overpaying for something that isn't a home that you're never going to live in.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to invest a bunch of money into something unless they know that they're going to get a return out of that.
Yeah.
So that's where we found kind of the leverage of how it started, was saying, okay, well, I'm going into somebody's home and it needs new windows, or it needs, hey, you've got tile countertops. If we can bring in granite countertops, then the perception of the buyer is we don't have to do anything here. We can just, it's more of a move-in ready. Right.
Yeah, totally.
So a lot of times there's homeowners that have amazing houses, and we don't end up having to do a lot of that. Those houses end up selling. We've found that, like you, there's a lot of projects that end up needing to be done or wanting to get done. And my theory is always the day you're done with your house is the day you sell it to the next guy. So when you buy a house, you walk through it. Oh, we could take this wall out. Oh, it needs that window redone, or it needs new carpet in the basement, or this basement's dark. We need to repaint it. We've done enough deals and we've got enough vendors that we can go to our vendor at that initial consultation. So if I walk through the house with you and you're selling it, and I can say, your basement's awesome, your carpet's great. The fact that you painted this accent wall charcoal gray looks really cool right now, but that's not really what a home buyer is going to want to come in and do. And what we find is home buyers now, they don't want projects. They want that move-in space. They don't want to walk into a space unless they have that in them, that they know that they're going to do the renovations over a period of time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they want to be able to come in and say, I want to paint a wall. I don't want to paint the whole house.
Yeah.
Or the house is awesome. It's in the right location. There's only 2 available in here. I like the layout of this one better, but I hate the carpet and I hate the color of it. Yeah. Well, we can help by bringing our vendor partners in and help those buyers get the house that they want. Or the perfect goal for us is to find the sellers, because when the seller actually puts the finished product up, they actually get more of their money back out of the home.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I love real estate investing. And, I think that a lot of my success is because I bought our house when we were young and built the equity and then got a home equity line of credit in order to, start my entrepreneurship career.
Yep.
And so I think that it's a huge investment. the most that you can get out of it definitely makes the most sense. I know that people are trying to do it.
Yeah.
What kind of return do you think that your buyers get after they work with you and actually, do that work? Like
Yeah.
what on average is the extra return that you get?
So I'll just give you an example of the last property we did. Okay. A home in the Wildcat neighborhood in Lone Tree. The homes are 1994 to 1999 homes. Lots of beige, right? Lots of wood cabinets, lots of older tile, lots of older floors. So when we do an ARV, an after repaired value of the home, the after repaired value of the home was like 125, 13 is what we
1.3 million.
Yeah, what we expected the home to sell for. What we had found was there was multiple homes in that neighborhood that had sold for sub $1 million because they had wallpaper in the kitchen, they had wallpaper in the laundry room, they had wallpaper in the master suite. And a $1.3 million buyer in that general location, they're going to go down to the canyons, they're going to go down to Castle Pines and find something new, but they're not going to get the large lot. They're not going to get the schools. They're going to have a commute. So we've identified certain neighborhoods like that one where we can say, okay, if we come in and spend $70,000 to $75,000 and update your kitchen, update your master, put in all fresh carpet, redo your hardwood floors, your chances of selling greater than 1.2 goes up, and your days on market is, sub 30. So you're getting a quicker return. You're having a better success. The other piece that we do is we have our home inspectors come in at the initial consultation. So they identify, okay, do we have roof issues? Do we have HVAC things? Do we have windows that we need to take care of? So not only are we addressing the things that the seller wants to do, but we're also addressing the things that the buyer coming in is looking to have or is going to come up during their inspection.
Yeah. If they were planning on just selling their house and putting on the market immediately without bringing you in, what would they have listed it for? What do you think they would have sold it?
So a lot of them they'll list it for like 1.1.
So you think they were going to list it for 1.1?
Yeah, but the comps are selling after 100 days on market, and after doing price reductions, they're selling for $950, $975.
Okay, so list for 1.1, selling for, let's say, $950. You come in, spend $75,000 remodeling, getting it to where it needs to be, and then you list it for 1.3.
1.25. We sold it for 165. And we were
$1,065,000.
Yeah, and we were under contract in 23 days.
23 days. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah.
I love the concept, the model, how you make it work.
And the seller keeps all that equity.
Yeah.
So that's the big difference between us and other fix and flip companies that come in. Like they will want to split whatever that gain in profit is. We've done no marketing. Everything's been word of mouth because the homeowner, once that homeowner gets that success out of their property, they're keeping all that equity that they're entitled to.
Yeah. So they get all the equity and you guys make the money on selling the house as a real estate broker.
And we keep our vendors happy.
And you keep the vendors happy.
Right.
You get all the work done.
Right.
I like the model.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It's been an amazing shift in the industry. I think post-COVID, we saw the real estate industry completely change. Again, affordability for buyers. If you're going to pay top dollar for a home, you want to buy a home that's a top route. You don't want to go in and buy the property that you're paying top dollar for, and then you need to put a bunch of money in to make it the home that you want to live in.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that you found a way to differentiate yourself, and it's a fix and flip real estate broker style of how you can continue to pivot and still be successful and still keep things going rather than just being a broker. Because I know a lot of real estate agents are having a hard time selling properties now with interest rates being high, with markets being so high, properties values being high. So this is a way that you can work with both sides and really get things done.
Well, and it's a lot of fun. it's a lot of fun to be able to sit down with a homeowner who doesn't understand or doesn't necessarily have the tools to be able to achieve what we can go in and do. And we've found, I've worked with a lot of investors, and investors don't necessarily want to come in, buy the property, have the holding costs, have the risk and the wait to see what happens. This way we can have our investor partners come in, they can be the money man, we can have the vendors there, get the work done, and again, the seller benefits.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love the story. That's so good. If there's one thing that you could actually go back and tell your former self, or to any of our listeners out there, one piece of advice that you have in the real estate market that you wish you would have known when you started over 21 years ago, what would it be?
It's funny because when you just asked me that off camera, I was kind of thinking through like what are the key things that have kind of really resonated with me. I will tell you that real estate is, you have to be a chameleon. You have to be able to shift and change. The market that I started in 21 years ago, we were printing contracts, press hard, the bottom copy is yours. Post-COVID, we're doing closings in people's cars. Now we can do closings via the internet where you're not going into the office. So I think the key thing that I would tell myself is this too shall pass. In the really good times, this too shall pass. Like the good times are going to change. The post-COVID reality was really great for real estate agents.
Yeah.
We're 4 years, 5 years past that, and it's been one of the hardest years for a lot of real estate agents out there and home buyers and sellers. This too shall pass. So even this hard time, a lot of things right now are rate dependent because affordability is such a key factor for people right now. And this too shall pass. So it's a matter of finding the value band for the clients and the people that you're working with, and then adapting your processes and what you're bringing to the table to bring value to the people that you're trying to serve.
Yeah, definitely. Very well said. And I always think about it too, being an entrepreneur, all industries go through life cycles like the seasons, right? You go through your spring season, you go through your summer when things are booming, and then we might hit a plateau and you see your fall, and then winter happens, which might be now in the real estate industry when rates are high. Like you said, sellers and buyers are having a hard time, and it kind of brings the market down a little bit, but this too shall pass and you'll get back into the springtime. It's all a matter of time, being patient, and just, being a chameleon, adjusting and going from there.
So and adapting to the need of the consumer, right? And I think that if you continue to focus on what your client base needs and you continue to adapt and find out where that value band is, then you'll always be relevant in the industry. You'll always have plenty of work to do. And if you're doing right by the client and you're serving the client, word of mouth is the best marketing that you could ever get. You can't pay for.
Yeah, I always say that too. Word of mouth marketing, cheapest, best form of advertising on the planet.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure,
I
man.
appreciate
This was
it.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. Last question. What's your favorite crispy flavor?
This the pineapple mango is
Tropical
actually
smash.
it's delicious. It's crispy. I was telling your other coworker that I've been getting away from like the beers and the barley based beverages. So finding delicious alternatives that still have the enjoyment of like the drinking and like the alcohol part of it. A lot of times I find that they overdo the alcohol percentage piece because they're trying to like accommodate to that piece. But yeah, I mean, these are one of those that I could see myself, grabbing a 6-pack or a 12-pack and taking it out on the golf course with some friends and
Heck yeah, man.
enjoying it, man. So appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Nick, thank you again.
Thank
so
you
much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Good luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, appreciate it. Same to you guys. And again, we will definitely see you guys at more of these wonderful events, and greatly appreciate you guys supporting us in this.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.